Welcome to this man's garage. Welcome back, guys. In this video I will be installing lowering springs in the front struts and camber caster plates in the front of this 88 Turbo Coupe. And this is pretty much the same exact procedure on Mustangs in this era. So let me show you what I'm going to be installing. These are the springs we're putting in. It's from BMR, and that's the part number. And we also got these are the urethane front spring isolator kit. And I'm going to show you how to put that on. And these are the struts we're putting in. These are the KYBs, and that's the part number. And we're getting Caster Camber plates. And it's part number MMCC8388 from Maximum Motorsports. And it comes with the plate on top, the strut bearing, urethane bump stop over here, and a plate underneath. And it comes with hardware over here, spacers and whatnot. So let's begin. Alright, now the first thing you gotta do is you gotta measure how high the stock strut mount sits, the highest point. Now this has covers on it, so let me just pop this off. This comes off like that. And what we're doing is we're eliminating the computer controlled suspension in this car. And this doesn't really work too well right now, so we're replacing it. And it's very hard to find parts for this. So this gotta go. Alright, now what you gotta do is you gotta measure from the strut tower over here where the fender is. I put a level here so I know that's straight. So we're going to try to mimic this exactly, this height over here. With the stuff we're putting in, it allows you to adjust the height of the strut if you have a lowered vehicle. That's why this measurement here is very important. Take the lug nuts off. Take the tie off. Okay, now stick a screwdriver right in there and try to push the piston in a little bit. And this caliper, just to give us some room to pop this off. These are two 17mm slide pins. Pop those off. Now I got a hook. I'm gonna hook this caliper right here. So pop this off. It needs a little persuasion. Whoa, okay. Got that out, hook it there, and hook it right there. Now the VSS sensor wire, that nut is holding this whole plate, which is holding this in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, then take this off and disconnect the wire from on top and pull it through this way. That's a 24mm nut. So that comes right off over there. Up here, just pull this off, just like that. And here, you just squeeze this, and that holds it in place. Now I'm gonna go up on top and then disconnect it and pull this out. So I'm gonna stick a little flathead on this side, pop that up. Put my finger in there, and open up the other side and push it out. Now I'm going to pull this from underneath. And now under here, just pull it through. And just going to leave it here for now. We're not going to need this anymore, so these are Phillips head screws, 2 of them. Pop that off, and pop that off. And this just pops right out. Okay, now we can eliminate this. Now over here, press this down, pull this off, and this is garbage. Now since we're up here, this plate over here it's called a curb plate. So this hides the stock slots for the camber caster plate. I'll show you later. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill this out. Okay, this I'm going to leave for now. I'm going to get back to this. Alright, now the strut bolts. These are sometimes very, very difficult to come off. Let me try with a breaker bar. If not, we're going to use heat So this is 24 millimeter into 13/16. So let me try this. Nope. Gotta heat her up. So we're gonna use the mini ductor here. You can also use a torch, but I like this method better. You can go ahead and heat that up. Let's try to break this off. Yeah, baby. Now the other side. Yeah, baby. Alright, so bottom bolt I'm gonna leave in. I took the top bolt off. Now I'm gonna put a screw jack under here and go on top and take the strut mount bolts off. Alright, so I put a screw jack under here. I jacked it up a little bit, just to put a little tension on here. Now these are 3 bolts here, these are 11/16. And this whole thing is gonna come down from underneath. Before I drop the strut out of here, take that out. The only thing holding the control arm up is this end link. So I'm gonna take this end link off now too. Alright, so there's a flat spot here, you just hold out with an adjustable wrench. And the top is a 13 millimeter. Take that off. And now the bottom one. Alright, now the end link is loose. The strut is loose on top. Nothing's being held on top. I only have 1 bolt holding the strut underneath over here. And now I'm going to lower the jack. And as I do that, the tension of the spring is going to pop this strut out and pop the end link off. So I'm going to hold the strut as I lower it too. And I'm also going to put I like to put a pry bar in here just so this thing doesn't shoot out. This is a precautionary measure. And jam it in there. As you can see, the end link is also coming out. So we're not a jack room over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to raise the lift up to release the tension of the jack. Now I'm going to raise the car up. Now take the bottom bolt off here. And this whole thing come right out. And you can pop the end link out. Alright, so here it's a little delicate procedure. I put a 1 pry bar on top to hold the spring, and I just pry it off the control arm underneath. It comes right out just like that. Grab her and pull her out. Alright, now what you want to do, you want to clean up the spring perch on this control arm here, because you want to see 2 dots, 2 circles over here. And let me clean this out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, 2 circles here, 2 holes. That's what you want to see. So make sure this whole thing is clean. Okay, now we're going to put these isolators on. You put some silicone spray, my favorite butter sauce. You spray it in the hole, just like so. And you insert it. You like my technique, camera girl?
That's a leaky pipe.
Isn't it?
Wow.
I love it.
That's a lot of white stuff.
Oh, you'll see more later, baby.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Can't wait. That's a tight fit.
It always is, Brianna. So you want this to be towards the edge over here. Just like that. Now the flat part of the spring up here, that goes on top. And this is the rubber polyurethane isolator that goes on top there. I have some white lithium grease. I'm just going to coat the inside of this a little bit. Just like so. Pop this on and put some white lithium grease on top over here. Just like so. Now to index the spring, it has to sit between the 2 holes, the edge of the spring. or else the car is going to be up one side, down the other, so you want it to make it sit properly. So just pop this down, stick her in, put this down, and pop this in. Let go. Just like that. Okay, you can also take the tie rod off. It's a little extra work, but you can also do it that way, and you get a little more swing with the control arm. But that's pretty much how you do it. Okay, now put the jack underneath and jack up the control arm, and the spring will seat in. Now we're gonna put the new end link in. Put this bad boy in here. All right, now I'm gonna jack it up some more. And tighten it down. The car should be fully seated on its weight, sitting on its weight to do this. All right, now that the end link is in, you can actually go ahead and lower this because the end link is holding the control arm up. All right, now the old strut here, take the nut off from on top. Comes right off. And this slides right off. I'm gonna put this on the vise. Clamp it over there. You take a pair of dikes, and over here, this metal clamp, you open it up a little bit, and you can pop this off. Just like that. Now grab this and yank her off. You're gonna reuse this. Now this came with the Caster Camber plates. This is a bump stop for the shock. We're gonna put the old dust boot on this, so put some silicone spray in here so it could slide on easier. A little lube makes everything go in smoother. Now I'm gonna push this in. It goes on top of this. Just like that. Now use the tie wrap that they supply you with. Now spread a little silicone lube over here and work it. You gotta work that hole. Now this goes on top just like that. You like that, Brianna?
That was cool.
I know, I know. Alright, now to give you a set of spacers. We already did this on the other side, so we know 2 spacers go here. And then the bearing plate goes on top of here. I'll show you that when I assemble it. It depends on the ride height. If it's a lot lower than stock, you put less shims over here, spacers. But it's around stock height, you put around, I think, 4 spacers here and 1 on top. So that moves the shock, the strut depth on here, the top part. I'll show you when I put in the car. But anyway, we know we only have 2 we have to put here. So I'll show you now the Caster Camber plate. Alright, so before I put in the car, real quick, this is how it goes. For street cars, this is the positive orientation. That's how you want it to face. This is the front of the car, so this is the driver's side. For race cars, you want you to flip them around like that. So this is all the instructions. This goes underneath, it pops up, and these studs protrude outside the strut tower. Then you put washers on top of those. Then you put this on top of this with spacers and washers. And this goes underneath this plate, goes straight up with washers and nuts. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the car. And these are the spacers that you put on the shaft of the strut. Remember that first measurement we took in the beginning of the video? Well, this, you put it under here and it pushes the strut down or up, and it moves the strut up and down. So these are different spaces to give you for that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the car now. Now this is the curb plate that I was talking about. Now when you take this off, you see how it's slotted here? That's what you want. Now pop this in from underneath. Like so. Put 3 washers on it. Like so. Now you put spacers. Just like so. Now you put the plate. Now you put the washers. Now this allows you to use the Mustang struts, and that's what we're using here, because it brings the plate up. And then you put the nylocks on here. And do that for now. Alright, this goes from underneath up. This shorter side here faces rearward. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Pop that in there. And now washers and nuts. Washers and a pair of nuts. Alright, pop this in. And push this in over here. And put the bolts through. And tighten these down. That's good. And that's good. Put the brakes back on. Put this in, pop that in, and tighten those down. And it's on. Pop this on. Now the VSS wire, stick it back up in the hole where it came from. This goes back in this hole, just like that. And over here, this you stick in here. Just like that. And connect the VSS on top. And the VSS is in. Okay, these I'm gonna push it fairly that way, but this is gonna go straight to an alignment shop after this, so you have to go too crazy here. I'm gonna tighten these down. And I'm gonna try to put this sort of in the back a little bit and tighten this down for the caster. Now the car's on the ground. I put these 2 spacers up here and put the nylock that they supply you with on top and crank this down. Alright, so that's good. There's flat spots here, so you could put an adjustable. If this spins, the shaft, as you turn a nut, you could put a vice grip lightly on the shaft to hold it in place while you bring it all the way down, and you get enough room to put a adjustable over here. Now, you have to measure this over here, this relation, how high this is versus the fender. Remember that first step we did? It should be really close. And those spacers that I put underneath, I put 2 spacers. That moves it up and down depending on how many spacers you put. If you put more spacers, thicker spacers, this goes down. So also, if you don't know how much space you have between here and the hood, you can put some silly putty here and put the hood down, and you should have at least 1/8 of an inch clearance between this and the hood. Alright, now the car sits nicely in the front, it's nice and low. We're also going to lower the back, and that's a separate video. So that's how you install Caster Camber plates on a Thunderbird, TURBOCOUPE / Mustang also, and how you install lowering springs and front struts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, like me, share me, also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Clowny1969. Also, check out the link in the description below for my new shirts. See ya!